Welcome back, everyone. I'm prepared to be bedazzled because today we're going to be shedding light on the challenges appertaining to earning a livable wage. What are they, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. But before I do so, I just wanted to preface this video by providing you with some context, just in case you are unaware. In the digital era, as this confluence of time and space, at this juncture, a livable wage is a mean net wage of at least $122 per hour. You'll need to be able to earn a mean net wage of at least $122 per hour over the course of 2 decades, 1/5 of a century, or 20 years, so that by the time you retire, you can at least maintain a mediocre standard of living. If you were to earn around $254,000 per year and manage to save and subsequently invest $3,600,000 in the equities market, in equities that bear 2% dividend yields, then after 20 years elapsed, when you retired, you would more than likely receive at least $2,000 in dividend payouts per month, or $72,000 in dividend payouts annually, after working full-time for 2,080 hours per year, or 41,600 hours over the course of 20 years. You need to be able to meet that earnings threshold of $254,000 per year at least, so that after 20 years elapsed, you would have been able to save and invest at least $3,600,000 in the equities market. So, what are some of the Brogdon-Nagian challenges appertaining to earning a livable wage? Why does this seem to be overwhelming? Well, if you try to do so as an entrepreneur, the odds are unfavorable. User-generated content markets are hyper-competitive. They are replete with competition. You're competing against entrepreneurs who have enormous competitive advantages and who have behemoth brands. If you have an obscure backwater brand, it's going to be all the more arduous for your brand to build traction and attain substantial brand recognition, strong brand loyalty, robust brand equity, and rapid brand growth. So these markets that you're entering are already replete with competition, which thereby renders your chances for success all the more infinitesimal. It winnows down your chances for success. What is another challenge appertaining to earning a livable wage? Well, if you try to do so in the capacity of an entrepreneur, it can be daunting. It can be overwhelming. It can be chronically stressful. It can induce chronic fatigue, chronic burnout, and it can impinge on every facet of your life, because your whole life will be devoted to trying to attain a livable wage as an entrepreneur, and it's arduous to sustain working in the capacity of an entrepreneur for at least 14 to 18 hours per day, 7 days per week, for at least 3 to 15 years consecutively, was having no life outside the scope of your work. So just sustaining being an entrepreneur, working 14 to 18 hours per day for realistically anywhere from a decade to a decade and a half is no easy feat, and there's no guarantee that you will be able to reach your goal of at least meeting the earnings threshold to qualify to earn a livable wage. Can you earn $254,000 in revenue per year? Are you able to earn a mean net wage of at least $122 per hour as an entrepreneur. It can be highly time-consuming, highly stressful, overwhelming, and it can be agonizing to sustain doing it, especially if you are discontent with pursuing your line of work, to do it, inducing too much chronic stress, chronic burnout, chronic fatigue, without you being guaranteed to yield any results in spite of how meritorious your content and your products may be. So it's not easy to sustain, and earning a livable wage is far more arduous than it is presumed to be. Not everyone is capable of doing it. Not everyone has a mental bandwidth, the knowledge, the repertoire, the competencies to be able to attain their goal to earn a livable wage. What is another challenge appertaining to earning a livable wage? Well, it can be extraordinarily cumbersome for your content to build traction and transcend into becoming viral content. It can be extraordinarily cumbersome for your products to become viral products. Your videos, your content, your products, they may assuage niche needs among your target market. They may be meritorious, they may be worthwhile, they may be recommendation worthy, but that does not denote that they will necessarily go viral. And it can be expensive to promote your products. It can be expensive to market your brand. So, just generating product awareness, generating brand awareness is highly time-consuming and expensive. You know the utmost potent search engine optimization tactics to implement so that your content and products are rendered a little more discoverable? Do you know how to efficaciously market your content and products so that they're a little more apt to build traction and have a chance of being consumed by your target market? Do you know how to efficaciously manage a marketing budget? So it can be overwhelming to even attempt to create a viral video or a viral product. Do you know how to create engagement-worthy, viral-worthy, share-worthy, like-worthy, algorithm recommendation-worthy content for your social media channels that is apt to yield high engagement rates, high watch times, high audience retention rates, and high viewership rates? Do you know how to create meritorious products that are apt to transcend to becoming viral products due to being profusely recommended by others and due to being easily discoverable among your target market? If you want to be able to earn a livable wage, if you want to be able to meet the earnings threshold to qualify to earn a livable wage, you're more than likely going to need to produce viral content and /or viral products. And doing so can be extraordinarily cumbersome. Do you know how to efficaciously refine pay-per-click marketing campaigns? Do you know how to efficaciously employ social media marketing tactics? Do you know how to efficaciously leverage influencer marketing activities to vector traffic to your product pages and to vector traffic to your brand? If you can produce videos that transcend to becoming viral videos, if you can produce products that transcend to becoming viral products, then you can earn a livable wage, but it can indeed be ineffably cumbersome, especially if you lack a marketing budget, are not highly knowledgeable in the niche field of marketing, and do not know how to optimally optimize the metadata associated with your content and products. Are you utilizing the utmost searched for key terms that are germane to your content and products when creating the metadata for them. Is your metadata highly searched for in search queries? So, the challenges of earning a livable wage are indeed extensive, they're lofty, and they can seem overwhelming.
What are you eating now?
Once again, we're briefly to recapitulate. It can be extraordinarily cumbersome to earn a livable wage, primarily because most employers are reticent about paying their employees a livable wage, so finding an employer who's willing to pay you a livable wage can indeed be arduous. You have to get past the gatekeepers of opportunity. You have to get past the hiring managers who have those opportunities available. If you try to attain a livable wage as an entrepreneur, it can be challenging because markets are replete with competition, user-generated content markets, niche product markets are hyper-competitive. Your competitors have competitive advantages which you lack. They have behemoth brands which you lack. And it can be highly time-consuming and extraordinarily arduous to produce viral-worthy content and viral-worthy products. Having your content and products build traction, having them transcend into becoming viral content and viral products is no easy feat. And marketing them can be challenging as well, especially if you lack a marketing budget and your knowledge in the domain of marketing is very finite. The marketing landscape is constantly changing, and you may not understand all the dynamics involved in the marketing landscape and how they interplay with one another and how to most efficaciously market your products in the age of automation. So, even if you become successful, it can be arduous to sustain earning a livable wage. You may stagnate, you may regress, your brand may falter, may decline. It may stop out in traction. People may pivot to other brands. Your target market may be fickle. There's no guarantee that they'll be loyal to you in spite of the merits of your past content, of your newest content, and if your newest products are not deemed to be ineffably appealing to your target market, then your brand may be in arrears, metaphorically speaking, and it may either stagnate or decline, or perhaps at best experience negligible growth. So there are all these exogenous factors that amplify the challenge associated with earning a livable wage. It's not easy, it's arduous, it's cumbersome, it's travailing. So if you can meet the earnings threshold to qualify to earn a livable wage, that's quite a feat, but do not expect to be able to do it with ease. It can be an overwhelming, Brobdingnagian challenge to overcome and surmount. It seems to be an insurmountable challenge, but it can be overcome, and it is probably possible, and you can even generate more wealth beyond the ambit of just a livable wage if you are able to become so profoundly successful as an entrepreneur that you're able to generate extreme wealth beyond apprehension. I hope that you found this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.